All right, we good, Jake?
We're good.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to an episode of Check Please Subscribe. He's
Welcome.
calling.
Hello. I can hear that.
Please.
Welcome, everyone, to a very special episode of Check Please, as it is Substitute Teacher Week. It is 3 meals in 1 pod, as some people have been calling it. Oh, Dusty, yes.
It's not just a special pod. It's also Nick's birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Nikki.
Well, here's a sign. It's my birthday. You guys hear that?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, wait. That sound should have been, please.
Check, please.
That's good. It's Substitute Teacher Week we're going to do.
Yeah,
But yes, it is my 26th birthday. I'm off the parents' health care, and that's why I'm drinking, so my liver just stops. But before I get more into it, I have to read the intro to the podcast, I think. Season 2, episode 25, I think it is. I'm not sure how it works. We keep continuing the episode count, whatever. We are presented by the official Mountain West correspondent and benefactor of the pod, the Hagen Hall Boys. Email us at d1donepod@gmail.com. Leave a like on Facebook, Twitter, and all that good stuff, wherever. Leave a review and 5 stars. Hello, boys. Welcome to Check Please. Jake, your first appearance. And again, today we're just going to each recap a game and see where life takes us. Who wants? Dusty, you want to go first since you're the last one in?
No, I don't, but I will.
Okay, Jake. Let's go to Jake then.
All right, I will go ahead and get us started. Sadly, I will be talking about the recap just for the fans of my loss of the Florida Gators. Traveled to Georgia on Tuesday night. We were number 3 in the country, number 2 in the country, number 3 in the country. Depends on what you look at. But yeah, the Florida Gators went in, and Mike White got his first win against his former school. He had been 0-6 against the Gators since leaving Florida for Georgia, in a very wonderful way for Florida, avoiding a buyout. And Nick, ironically, Gators were on a 12-game win streak. So Mike White had won his last 6 against Georgia before leaving for Georgia, and then lost his first 6.
Oh.
So it was a 12-game winning streak for the Gators until Tuesday night, where the Florida Gators got beat 88-83 at Georgia. For those who may not have watched this game, Florida was down 26 at one point in the first half. They were down 39-13. And as a Gator fan, I ironically, or not even that, moronically, actually had no doubt that we were going to make a run at some point. And lo and behold, yes, we did. Florida took the lead 80-78 with about, a minute 30 left, I would say, maybe even less.
Right, give it.
But Florida slowly just chipped away on 10-12 runs constantly throughout the second half. And Georgia then, lo and behold, finished the game on an 8-3 run to end the game, nailing back-to-back big threes, won by one of our least favorite players, Mr. Blue Kane, who hit a big shot to take the lead back to 83-82. And Kane was one of 5 players for Georgia in double figures. And Will Richard led the way for Florida with a career-high 30 points. And he did just about everything he possibly could have. I've ever seen him in a Florida uniform to try to will their way to a win. But no, Georgia got the W for a big win for them and to expand their bubble hopes. Georgia has been, weirdly not one. I don't think they've won a single meaningful road game in the SEC, but they've now knocked off Florida, Kentucky, and St. John's all in this season, which is huge for the bubble people. So good for Mike White and the Georgia Bulldogs taking down the Gators.
Yeah, Jake, 2 things. One, it's kind of crazy for Florida's stance, like the fact like everyone talks about Elijah Martin and Walter Clayton, and then you can just have Riley go off for 30 points. Like they just have so many different ways they can come at you. And if I was you as the Florida fan, I would think nothing of this game. Georgia's, like you said, was a desperate team at home. They need a win. So
I knew it was a trap game from the get-go.
Absolutely.
I don't know what just happened. There we go.
Yeah. That was just
glitch.
And by the way, Jake, I think the word wasn't ironically. I think you want to use the adverb, which is coincidentally.
Moronically is what I ended up saying.
I know the second one was even better, so I give you credit for that.
But yes.
Yeah, but good win for Mike White. He finally beats the Gators, Jake. That's hysterical that he was kind of the other ends of the 12-game winning streaks.
And further, I did Google to make sure that coincidentally was an adverb, not a verb. I just had
There we go. There's our English lesson from Crab today.
There you go.
Jake, real quick before we move on, you weren't panicking me at all after this game?
Oh, no, not at all. We got A&M College Game Day coming on Saturday.
I would not be worried about Florida right now. I'd be worried if I was playing Florida. How's that?
Crab, you have a game for us to recap?
Yeah, I actually want to talk about IU Penn State last night. So I feel like it's the third straight time I've talked about IU. Shout out Joe Steele, per usual.
Hoosier
Um,
crab.
that was the type of game that they always lose. You're playing an inferior Penn State team at home with Woodson. They were down, I want to say, essentially the entire first half, right? Took the lead
Okay.
late, and then even Rice misses 2 free throws late in the last minute. But it's unfair to say IU has turned something around. But I said on Monday, I think they're a tournament team. I think they're proving that. You pull up their schedule. The last few games, I know we talked about this. So they're at Washington
Yeah,
on
West Coast trip.
Sunday. Then at Oregon, so West Coast trip at Washington, at Oregon, Ohio State at home. Again, if they win, I said 3-1 and win a first game of the Big Ten tournament. They win 2 of those 3, which they could go sweep that West Coast trip, come back to Ohio State, and win 1 game in the Big Ten tournament. I mean, I think they're in the tournament. I don't understand how you keep them out.
If they win at Oregon and then Ohio, I think if they win at Oregon, they're probably in. They're going to give them for those high-end wins, but you cannot lose to Washington.
Correct. See, that'd be an interesting dynamic if they lost to Washington but beat Oregon. Like, I don't know what that would do for them.
And right, Nick, isn't Washington on the Big Ten tournament bubble?
Oh, yeah. They're outside looking in right now for the Big Ten tournament bubble. Yeah, Craig, you think IU's legit, though? In a sense, like, if they get in the tournament, they can...
I think they're a legit tournament team. I do not think they're legit in terms of, IU does not want to play Tennessee, of all teams. Let's just throw that out there.
Lordy.
But I mean, this is the same team that also beat Michigan State, 2.5 weeks ago?
Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't IU beat Tennessee in the preseason scrimmage? That was like on ESPN Plus?
Yeah, well, when I was at Ball State, we beat IU Edwardsville, or what the hell they're called.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I
actually think that IU did. I want to say this is one of those Doc Bell texts I got in late October.
Shout out
Optimistic Doc Bell.
He's a cousin of ours, big IU fan. Shout out. He's definitely not listening, but shout out to him. For what it's worth, according to Bracket Matrix, IU's the last team in right now. Yeah, I would say don't lose at Washington. Like Crab said, just go 2-1. Heck, 1-2 might even. No way.
I would say 1-2.
Yeah,
1-2 and a win in the Big Ten tournament.
Fellas, here you go. October 27th, 2024. Indiana Hoosiers defeat the Tennessee Volunteers 66-62 in a charity exhibition at the Food City Center in Knoxville, Tennessee. So, yeah.
So they had a quad 1 win in October.
Yeah, add that in. Put it on the resume.
And for the record, your boy had a 6-game losing streak for the Locks, and Penn State covered. So thank you, Nittany Lions. Thank you
Nick's
so
back.
much. Nick's back.
Birthday back.
Well, I'm birthday back, baby. Shout out Mick Ultra, no free ads. I'm having a good time on the pod for my birthday. Gulp, coming.
Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. All right, my game. I would say the game of the biggest game of the week so far on Monday night. Me and Jake came back home for the Pacers game to watch this. Houston beat Texas Tech 69. Nice. To 61. Good win for the Cougars. Houston basically led the whole game. And Houston clinched a share of the Big 12 title. You guys know Houston's now won back to the American and now the Big 12, their conference regular season, 6 of the last 7 years. And the 1 year they didn't was a weird COVID year where Wichita State played less games than Houston, but based on winning percentage, they won the Americans. Shout the Shockers, way to win the 2021 American. But either way, Houston just keeps on rolling, one of the best programs in the nation. Luzanne had 22 points, including the Big 3 late. John Roberts had 16. They held Texas Tech to 6 of 30 from 3. I think this Houston team, I believe in them maybe more than any other Houston team. They have 3 guys shooting 30% from 3 or better. They actually have guys that can make shots. That's good. So often Houston lose games 46-41, it feels like. Shout out to them. I think this Houston team's legit. Shout out both coaches. Did you guys see the good guy off after this game?
I did not.
For people who didn't see it, so no Darian Williams for Texas Tech, one of their best players. Kelvin Sampson, Houston coach, obviously came out and said, this game has an asterisk on it. This game shouldn't count. Blah, blah, blah. He said something along those lines. And then the coach of Texas Tech, Grant McCaslin, came back on and said, no. There's no excuses in this league.
No.
These are the players on the court. We are Texas Tech. There's no asterisk to it. So
Drake said, check, please.
Check, please. A good guy off. So shout out Houston, big win. You guys got any thoughts on my Houston take that this might be their best chance to actually winning the national championship or anything?
When they had Hakeem and Clyde Drexler, but yes, I think since then this is probably their best team.
Yeah, they could actually score.
Houston's strong.
Krabby with the H-Town shirt on. Yeah, I think for the first time under Sampson, like when they've been one of the top teams in the country, potential 1 or 2 seed, I think they can score at levels they haven't had before. They have guys that can actually go get buckets versus, scoring within an offense. But, in the shot clock, need to make a play, need to get momentum for a run. And as you guys have said many times on this pod, and we all know, guards make plays in March, and they finally have the guys that can go score for them, which makes them rather dangerous. Disney!
Once again, that's our dog. Hi, Disney. But, one last thing in Houston. I understand they've had Sasser and Trema Mark and Jamal Shed in the past, but it feels like it's the most, multiple guys on one team.
The collective group.
Well, like Jay kind of mentioned, they're hitting threes. And they did in the past. It was all defensive. It was a defensive struggle. And now you have a great defensive team that can actually hit shots. So that's what makes them dangerous now, where they can stop you and they run a defense. I think I've talked about this before, where their help side defense, especially in post play, is so good at switching over, sitting a wing defender, and it forces big men who aren't used to the defensive style to have to turn and try to throw cross passes. And Houston plays that so well. So now, here, I'll let Disney.
I know Dusty's breaking out X's and O's.
But so now you have a team that can do that and play great defense, but also have guys who can shoot threes to go with it, and it's amazing. I mean, they are scary. I mean, they only have 2 quad wins, 3 maybe.
I think it's bumped up now.
Because they're
For a while there, they didn't have one. But
yeah,
they're not
because they probably adjusted.
Yeah, but they're so freaking good and scary.
Yeah, you mentioned Jake said that they're hitting threes, and Jake knows a thing or two about hitting threes. So yeah, good for
Amen.
Houston.
Wait, as in 3-pointers or?
It's up for interpretation. Before we get on to the rest of our show, just other results of note before we get into the chaos. Oklahoma State did beat Iowa State, by the way. Iowa State was still down, I believe, Curtis Jones or Gilbert. I get them confused. One of them did not play. It's substitute teacher week, whatever.
Gilbert didn't play.
Gilbert did not play. Gilbert Godfrey did not play. Shout out. Alabama dropped 111 on Mississippi State. Tough look for our guy, Brian Haydad. I think I'm saying that right. Daga got the win at Santa Clara, 95-76. Mountain West results, San Diego State beat New Mexico. Jake, Robbie's pick to not cover. Did it?
San Diego State minus 2.5.
Oh, I keep thinking of New Mexico. So you had San Diego State.
The hammer. Robbie, your locks are back.
And Boise State also beat Utah State. So the Mountain West can get 3 teams in. Boise State might will get in to get 4, so shout to Mountain West. It's kind of funny if not talk about this. Maybe the shot of the week, maybe of the year. Maryland lost to Michigan State 58-55. Shout out Trey Holloman of the half-court heave for the win. Take that, Robbie. Shout out Sparty. Vandy beat Texas A&M in a game that took 2 hours and 40 minutes in regulation, but I got the big win for Vandy. A&M's lost 2 straight at home now. Shout out Brian Mills, who's losing his mind.
Yeah, can we talk about the funny?
I don't have funny to say. No, go ahead. What?
I just want everyone to know, until your team is in this situation, you don't really understand how frustrating it is. So it's Nick's birthday. We go to dinner last night. We come back to watch the Kentucky game at my parents' house, and as he said, Vandy, Texas A&M. The last, and I'm
tipped off at 7.
Yeah.
I always say I don't care how long the game takes. Like, you're watching it, you can choose to turn off, whatnot, blah blah. I'll never complain about how long the game was. Last night was the first time ever I was like, what the hell is going on? The last 3 minutes probably took 35 minutes. There were, 3 different replays?
At least.
I think at least, yeah. And at one point, 15 seconds left, if you looked at the scoreboards, they still both had 1 timeout left. It was like, how? And so if you're a Kentucky fan who doesn't have the resources, Kentucky or
Oklahoma.
Well, thank you, Oklahoma. Last night, they don't have the resources to watch on.
Which, real quick on that, it was not ESPN, so the second went to ESPNU. It was on SEC Network Plus.
Yeah.
Which is essentially ESPN Plus, which you need a streaming device.
Yeah, it wasn't 7.5 minutes left in the first half when it finally came on.
Yeah, I wrote it down. 6:44 left in the first half when it came on.
So we had gone through the under 8 timeout already and back into play. Those timeouts themselves, all 3, would that be 3 of them under 16, 12? Yeah, under 8. That's at least 10 minutes of actual time.
Right.
Let alone it was, and the game didn't go to overtime. It was in regulation.
I know, that's what I said. If it was a 3 overtime game, then I get it, and this is fun. But no, it was a game that was sitting from 8 to 4 the entire time too. It's like it was great shot after great shot. It was just foul, turnover, foul, foul, timeout, turnover.
Review.
Yes.
Review.
Don't expand the tournament. Expand the TV slots.
Yes. Boom, Jake.
Wow.
Don't expand the tournament. Expand the TV slots. Start these
Run
games
for-
at 7 and 9:30.
Or even like something like 6:50 and 9:10.
Yeah, Nick,
Like,
I like that. Nick said yesterday. I thought you said 6:55 and 9:05.
yeah,
Just to give
even
that
little stuff like that would go a long way.
Which 9:05 is 9:17 anyway. So
Shout out Adam Silver. But good win for Vandy, though. That's a heck of a win for them.
Great
And
win.
A&M, like, 2 straight home losses now. Just one more thing. St. John's didn't, I believe, clinch a share of the Big East for the first time since 1994, maybe is what it is. But so shout out Ricky P. Gonna make a joke. I'm not going to make it myself.
the
Yeah,
Godfather.
Good win for St. John's. And Arkansas beat Texas, so they're probably in the tournament right now. Anything else I missed, boys, before we move on?
Nothing I'm
I have
recalling.
nothing.
All right, boys. We have like 15 minutes here. So I told you guys before the show it's substitute teacher week, so I had no plan. Whatever you guys want to talk about. I know Dusty had something, so Crab, I'll give you the floor first.
I have a few things. Once again, Nick's birthday, so the second happy birthday to him.
Thank you.
Per my check your friend's phone, I think Robbie is somewhere near Mecca right now. So hopes that he gets there this weekend and can make it back and
Can't wait to see his tan.
his tan, and if he is wearing the Purdue Pete helmet or face as I was promised. So we'll see. So that's one. Number two, still remember boots on the ground for me this weekend in Lexington. Excited about Saturday, and see some of my former teammates and other Kentucky people who will not believe I actually played there. That's how it felt when I met Antoine Walker a few months ago. Number three, I am actually pumped. Some happy hour basketball tomorrow. I want to get fans excited about. Undefeated Yale, still in the Ivy League, 11-0. They're at Dartmouth tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So anyone that wants to have a Friday happy hour, pay attention to. We have Yale at Dartmouth, and we also have Brown at Harvard. Remember, we all love Brown, or I love Brown. So two big Ivy League games at 5 o'clock tomorrow. There's your Friday happy hour showdowns.
Both can be found on ESPN Plus. I just confirmed that. Dusty, fun fact for you for Brown for happy hour. Do you know I was once getting recruited by Brown?
I do, because we were supposed to go out to a camp there, and also I thought you were going to say that because of Black History Month. But
Shout out, by the way. Shout out Black History Month.
Amen. Well, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, I remember we ended up not going because Dad had to sit me down and be like, are you seriously considering going to an Ivy League school, which had never once crossed my mind. It was more the fact of excitement.
To be fair, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. My brother Jake is very witty. He is decently smart.
We're cutting this.
Going to an Ivy League school is not something that I would put on my lifetime bingo card.
You know what, just for that, we're going to make it, once this show gets big enough, and I'm hopefully still coming in for substitute teacher week, I'm going to go back and get my master's from an Ivy League school just for that.
Please, Jake, please go get your master's from Ivy League school.
That'd be a great bit on the show. Jake's just working on an Ivy League degree on the side.
Live from
paper,
live from class. I jump in while I'm in class, and you guys get to hear the professors talk.
He's writing his thesis in the middle of the show.
Wait, I'm talking loud here. That'd be a great summer pod. You think we could work together on a random community college class? You guys think we could ace a random class?
The four of us all work together.
Do we take do we just go take who's the bracketologist? Lenard. Do we go take Lenardi's online course? Might have to reach out to Lenardi, see if there's maybe we can get some free tuition and for the content.
Lenardi, I think he's ranked 70th on the bracket matrix, but whatever. I think he's actually higher than that, but
good for him though.
But on my birthday, guys, I brought you guys a present. I have some just rapid fire questions about sports and just random things. So I have not prepared either of you guys for this. These are just quick, simple answers, okay? You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This was very newsworthy. Yankees facial hair policy, yay or nay? Where are we at with this? The fact it's gone now.
Get over yourselves. How's that?
The media must be really dead to be an announcement.
Also, wait, no. You said quick answer. Please go back and listen to the announcement about it. Who's the president? What's the family that?
Cashman or Steinbrenner?
Steinbrenner.
Listen to him talk about the announcement. He literally sounds like he's talking about the kids these days, because he even says things like, "We even have a vice president that has facial hair." It brings character. Just please go listen to it if you get a chance. So yeah, get the hell out of here. Get over yourselves. And
Garrett Cole had a hilarious quote. He said they told them, the Yankees, before they announced it, they just told them, hey, because it's part of it needs to be a well-groomed beer still. And they told him something along the lines hey, just don't look like you're on Duck Dynasty. What? Which is going to
Okay.
Garrett Cole was clearly didn't want to alienate any like Duck Dynasty people. He's like, by the way, shout out to them. They grind out there in the woods, but they just don't want us looking like them.
Well, hey, the line in the sand was drawn. The line in the sand was definitely drawn.
New idea with Robbie being gone, substitute teacher week. With you two both having facial hair, if we get a chance when we post this, take a picture of anything we can. We need to have a poll. We need to start doing polls for the fans. See if they vote on it.
Voting polls, not other polls.
Correct. Not stripper polls.
Thank you.
Question number one would be Nick and Jake. Do their facial match the Yankee standard?
You could. Do they match what? Sorry.
Does our
Yankee
facial
standard.
hair would it be stamped for?
It will be approved by the Yankees.
Yeah.
Mine definitely would because I just have a mustache. Jake's would be interesting because it says well groomed.
Well, I think Jake's is cleaner than yours though.
Nick looks like Kerry Carpenter right now.
But again, they're always fine with mustaches. So I think it's more this stuff, like on the cheeks.
Don't get too defensive about it. We'll let the 6 fans that we have answer that.
Moving on from that one.
Yeah.
Steve Smith, the wide receiver, underrated, overrated, or properly rated?
Who's the voter? Us or? Okay.
Good receiver.
Underrated. Give him some good pub.
Underrated. Agreed.
I say underrated because it sounds like he was just a badass.
Mm-hmm. Loves women. Loves the Ravens marching band. Shout to him. George Bush. Yay or nay? Yeah. He seems funny.
Yeah.
2 more. More wins this season. Reds or Astros?
Astros.
Astros money line. I'll put 2K on it.
I won't do 2K. I'll do 20. Can we take away from zeros? Maybe 20?
50.
50. Deal. I think. Hey, your arrow is probably pointing down. I guess ours is going up. CI's on the other side.
You guys could do division records too, to make it more of an even battle. I saw some people do that recently.
Hey, we mean you two. You're an Astros fan too. You're getting out of this a lot.
There's bets between you two.
What a degenerate gambling comment right there, by the way. You can do division record. No, we're up front. Astros $50, more wins than the.
I'm sure the over-unders are not even close. I'm sure I just lost.
I think Astros is like 86.5, so you'd be surprised.
I think the Reds are like 79.5 or something like that. Look forward to that. Last one, just for Crab. Dusty, can you name one Wisconsin basketball player?
Greg Gard.
They have an All-American candidate. Can you give it to us?
I know it's the guard.
He sounded like like in Longest Yards. Who are we gonna kill? The guards. Who are we gonna kiss? The guards.
You're at it.
Yeah. I can admit I've watched this year. I'm only on this podcast because I played college basketball. Just remember that, people.
Dusty's Wi-Fi won't load for the Wisconsin basketball record.
No, I'm on Saturdays. I'm on Saturday's schedule trying to find them.
No. To give Dusty credit, this was funny. Like Dusty watches a lot of college basketball. He just does not always like remember have the names and players.
I will say this, and this is where you and Robbie are so good at this. I don't really remember players. I remember teams, and I can say simple things as like, Colorado is probably better than the record is just from watching them randomly on the side, but it doesn't help when you have a wife that, always had
Team Dion over here.
Yeah. What was he going to say about his wife?
I'm saying when she has the volume all the time, so I don't hear players' names, but I watch the teams. So, but yeah, Team Dion 15, the Big 12, I can tell you that right now.
John Tonji, so I was looking for. All right, that's all the rapid fire I have. Shout out. I just brought those. About 5 minutes. Anyone got anything you want to go off their chest?
As of right now, national championship matchup. Who you guys feeling?
Florida versus Houston.
I was going to say, I don't want Duke, Auburn. Give me a national championship matchup that's going to blow our minds.
Blow our minds? Okay.
Kansas State, who's suddenly cold again.
Well, at least to make the tournament. All right, I'm looking at the Matrix. No crap. I had one in the Natty all season. Gonzaga makes the Natty, but they lose the Houston their year. Anybody?
Okay.
Else?
I am going to go with St. John's is going to lose to Alabama in the national championship.
You saying St. John's real quick for answer, Crab? Yeah, what would be like the most like entertaining? Like also like St. John's, Kentucky would be hysterical, or like St. John's even Louisville. I would hate it, but that would be a lot. Like I think, what do you think's like that? Like
the one I'm going to give you, Tennessee over Memphis, national title.
I would hate that so much. Penny in Tennessee, that would just be awful.
Zakir kisses his boyfriend, holding up the MOP trophy. And that's how that season ends.
Maybe one time I won't watch a one shiny moment.
What was that poll, Crab? I was not expecting that comment.
Wow.
I was just looking at bracketology and trying to pull two teams out.
I was talking about the teams. I was talking about the Zakai Ziegler.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to move the camera down a couple feet because his like Kevin Hart. His head was in the camera shot.
Only is what?
Only
Not Michael Sam, by the way.
Also, I mean, do we think, as I'm looking at this, Lenardi's, is there? I know we're running out short on time. Any chance Iowa State stays the 2 seed?
Losing to Oklahoma State's tough. Granted, it's always tough. The committee, like, are they gonna like take into account all the injuries and illnesses? I don't know. So I would say no, but who knows?
well, if they're gonna factor in illness, Illinois might get a 1 seed.
No kidding. Remember they scored like 150 on Oregon? I thought they were gonna be so good, but no, they are not. Shout out James Worthy and Tony Gonzalez. I share birthdays with them, so shout out Tony.
Old Tony.
Jake hates Tony Gonzalez, for the record. Hates.
It's one of my favorite bits you come up with.
Happy birthday to Nick.
Thank you.
Everyone
Thanks for coming on, Robbie, for my birthday. Shout out to you. And thanks, Jake, for joining, too.
Of course.
My final title projection is Arizona is going to beat UConn in the title. Get out of here, Hurley.
Caleb Love hosting the most outstanding player trophy would have Robbie in shambles.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing, too. Caleb Love.
We have to get Caleb Love on.
Especially it'd be great, too, if Caleb Love killed the devil and then ended the three-peat. He'd be the all-time legend. Shout out Caleb Love.
Hurley to have smoke coming out of his ears.
I will do everything I can to get him on the pod.
Absolutely. Bite us, Robbie.
I'll be petting his head right here. Just make sure he's on here.
All right. I think that's the show, everyone. Thanks again for listening to another episode of Check Please.
Check Please.
We'll be back next week. Robbie's still in Mecca, so who knows what his deal is. Any shout-outs before we go? Good.
Caleb Love.
Caleb Love.
Shout out the Duck Dynasty.
Shout out to Nick. Birthday.
Love you all.
Happy birthday, Nick. See y'all.
3 Mills, 1 pod, baby. See y'all later.